You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. And so Netflix has a new special from Dave Chappelle called Sticks and Stones. That's gotten all kind of folks talking left and right. In fact, if y'all can find the trailer for me, I certainly appreciate that. What's unbelievable about this is that, I mean, he skewers everybody. He's talking about LGBT, opioid crisis. He's talking about Michael Jackson's accusers, R. Kelly. I mean, but what's unbelievable, he comes out and even talks about Anthony Bourdain's suicide.
Brother.
It is as if nothing is off limits for Dave Chappelle. Now, you got people who are saying he's misogynistic, people who are saying he's homophobic, people who are saying he's crazy, he's out of his mind, that he's dead wrong for this comedy special. Now, all people here, I've seen it, Greg has seen it, Deshandra and Joseph have not. But I do want to talk about this here because, and then what's interesting is that he lays out in there the cancel culture.
Yeah, he does.
Where he says, y'all are the problem, y'all get on my damn nerves, which is why I don't do a lot of comedy, because y'all want to cancel somebody. It is as if he takes on, I don't want to say political correctness, but he takes on this whole notion that comedians have to watch what they say and they can't offend anybody.
Right. No, man, listen, man, as a classroom teacher, nearing my 30th year in the classroom, when he opens up with a dark screen and you hear him, I was dreaming when I wrote this. From the moment he opens up with Prince, almost as if this is the disclaimer for everything that's about to come after. And he goes through Anthony Bourdain. He said, this man, with this job, hung himself in a luxury hotel, and then goes immediately into a story about a guy he knew from the hood who went all the way to the Ivy League and ends up at Foot Locker, and then says, but you know, in no moment did this brother ever think about killing himself. It is a master class. And first of all, he takes race out of it. I mean, Roland, that line where he has, and I'm going to give it away, y'all did when you see it, where they go in and tell him he can't say the F word in his skit, and then he says, okay, and he says, wait a minute, what about the N word? And he said, well, you're not an F. He said, I'm not an N either. Genius. And this LGBTQ, understand now, I can understand why people in the LGBTQIA community might be offended, and they said, but here's the thing. He talks about the LGBTQIA community. He talks about that community in reference to itself. He doesn't say anything in the external critique of them as he takes every one of those letters and put it in conversation with the other letter. It's a tour de force.
So the reason I was playing golf a few months ago, and I mentioned George Lopez, and I know George very well, played in his golf tournament. And the guy I was playing with, he's like, man, he pissed me off when he had his comedy set, and you know, he told that black joke, well, you know, Latinos don't bring nobody black home, and then he said, and then he got mad at the woman who's an artist and threw her out. And I said, so have you heard any black comedians talk about don't bring no white girl home, or don't bring no white boy home? I said, dude. He said, why aren't you mad? I said, cause it's a comedian. See, the thing is, for me, I have seen all kinds of comedians. I have seen them in person. I've seen them on television. I've seen black, white, Hispanic. I've seen gay, straight. I mean, it runs the gamut. For me, that's what comedy does. Comedy pisses people off. Comedy steps on toes. Comedy, as Dr. Freddie Haynes would say, bow down your alley, sit in your pew. Comedians say things. They dog everybody. They trash everybody. So we have the trailer. So we're going to play the trailer. I want to come back and get y'all thoughts on where are we with comedy today with people who are so, I believe, touchy. So here's the Netflix trailer for the Dave Chappelle special.
This is Dave. He tells jokes for a living. Hopefully, he makes people laugh. But these days, it's a high-stakes game. How did we get here, I wonder? I don't mean that metaphorically. I'm really asking, how did Dave get here? I mean, what the fuck is this? But what do I know? I'm just Morgan Freeman. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you say anything, you risk everything. But if that's the way it's gotta be, okay, fine, fuck it. He's back, folks.
That's the setup, Joe Nishandra, to the special.
All right, I'm a little too cheap for Netflix, but I'm going to have to get just like a 1 month free trial.
Why don't you go by somebody's house who got Netflix, and y'all can have dinner.
That's how you
Or just ask someone for their password. Listen, I mean,
there you go.
comedy is satire. I mean, obviously they're going to go for our sacred cows. That's what gets people. That's what gets a rise. That's what gets their name out there. I get it. I understand it. But I do want to talk about cancel culture. You can say anything you want, but people can have a backlash. That's how this works.
That's true. It's true.
But he addresses that. I mean, he addresses it.
It is.
By saying, okay, I'm gonna go back in your life and look at everything you've done, and I'm gonna reach back and I'm gonna cancel you today. And the thing to me, I mean, I think about look at Eddie Murphy. So there's a story saying Eddie Murphy's negotiating with Netflix to do a massive comedy special. You go back and look at Delirious and Raw. Okay. If you go back and look at, if y'all have not seen Eddie Murphy Delirious and Raw,
come on.
If you go back and look at today, Joseph, in today's context, from then, I mean,
he was the biggest star in the world for saying some that you could not get away with today.
Oh, no question.
Richard Pryor, right? The master of breaking taboos. I mean, he started off in the footsteps of Bill Cosby, and then took a dark turn, which made him a star. I mean, he used to be like telling dad jokes, and then he became this dude who said what was on his mind, including race, including culture, including sexuality.
Oh, sexuality.
And it just made him a comedy genius.
But I guess, again, for me, what I don't understand is I don't go to a comedy show like it's a lecture. I don't go to a comedy show like it's a speech. It's not. It is a comedy show. Comedians take those things, to your point, that are sacred, and they say, okay, you can't talk about that. Comedians like, watch me. That's the deal. And I'm not, and here's the deal. I've hosted comedy shows. I've been in front of many comedians.
You said comedians on every week.
Right. It's no different. It's no different than when it's no different than when I've emceed events. And part of the thing about being an MC is you got to know how to keep the ball moving. You got to keep people awake. And I'm ripping on folks. Straight up. I remember I did the Executive Leadership Council dinner one time.
Respectability politics, right there.
I think, right. Oh, hold on. That was real respectable. It was like 3,000 of them in there. Y'all, they had a script that was about this thick.
My goodness.
And they wanted us to go to rehearsal. I'm like, I ain't going to no rehearsal for the MC a banquet, y'all. This ain't that hard. And so it came to the script. I'm like, Sean Gables was the co-MC. I was like, we ain't reading from that script. She's like, what we gonna do? I like, just follow me. I said, man, that's a guide. So we're in the green room. We walk in, and Colin Powell, he's in there. So I walk in. He's like, oh, there's that ugly man. I said, your ass might be a 4-star general, but I'll cut your ass. Oh, he cracked up laughing. Now, that was in the green room. Now, when I went on that damn stage, I retold that damn joke.
How about that?
And then, Magic Johnson got an award. I was like, listen here, Magic ain't trying to take Washington. We're looking on damn business plan tonight. They'll be trying to give him your stuff. And then Emmitt Smith was there. And everybody know I hate the Cowboys with a passion. I hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Klan. Okay? I hate the Cowboys.
That's a deep hatred, brother.
I hate the Cowboys that much.
Does it get any deeper?
Emmett was there, and I was like, yeah, Emmitt Smith, yeah, Super Bowl champion. I was like, Emmett, do me a favor, lean the hell back so I can look at your white packs. I can't stand the Cowboys. We ripping on everybody. And then, so perfect example. So Sean Gable tried to crack on me. She's like, look, you need to work out. And I leaned back, looked at her butt, and I was like, you need to work out too. Everything was on the table. Everything. But the one that I really thought about, I thought I was about to, I cracked on Kwame Kilpatrick. I had 2 cell phones. And Sean like, why you have 2 cell phones? I said, Kwame should have had 2 cell phones.
Whoa.
The room now he was crazy. The front third of the room cracked up laughing. I was like, oh shit. I was like, uh-oh. But then the second third cracked up because the first third told the second thing, like, what'd he say? It was a rolling joke. That joke literally rolled it was 3,000 people from the front of the back of the room.
My God.
When you're there, you crack anything that's available. Anything that's available, you crack on. Bishop Charles Blake. At the MLK 50 deal, they told me, Roland, we stall, go stall. Okay, Bishop Blake came in. I was like, Bishop, how many cats with you? Jesus only had 12 disciples. Your entourage is 30.
Yes, sir.
Was like, Chris Tucker was like, damn.
That's barbershop humor.
But the point
People
is,
say that. Yeah.
when you're in that space, that's a part of it. I just don't get people who go to comedy shows and go, oh my God, I can't believe you went there. That's what comedians do.
But these aren't people who are going to the show. They're watching it after the fact or critiquing it as unfair. No,
they're sitting in the show. No, there are people who are sitting in shows.
You're talking about the Netflix show. You're talking about the Netflix
I'm not talking about this Netflix. I'm talking about people who actually go to comedy shows and get, this is not funny. This is not fun. You came.
You came. You paid your money to come here.
You came to a comedy show.
That's right.
That's what comedians do.
That's right.
I mean, you don't know what a comedian's going to come out of their mouth.
But
I just don't. I think that people are sensitive as hell. Mm-hmm. I think people today don't know how to laugh, and I fundamentally believe no one is off limits.
Yeah.
No one. Black people not off limits.
No.
White people, Latinos, Asians, Native American. Nobody is off limits.
No.
That's the beauty of the comedy stage.
No. Well, I think, to Deshaun's point, what you just observed, people are watching this. The consumer base is huge. And to Joe's point, I mean, Pryor could not. You can go on YouTube and see the Richard Pryor roasts. The roast on sexuality between him and Paul Mooney.
Oh my God.
Man, you can't. No. But there was no social media then. Things have changed in that regard. But even the clip that we all saw, the trailer. Dave Chappelle, I don't know what's going through his mind, but in terms of inheriting the mantle of a Pryor, or before that of a Lenny Bruce, or coming forward, unlike Murphy and them, Dave Chappelle seems to have struck upon a rhythm where he says, okay, I am truly going to be this watershed comedian in this age. Because think about it with this, just the trailer we saw. Morgan Freeman, with the cancel culture that came for him. To have Morgan Freeman doing that voiceover and then the voice of God then say, fuck it, this ain't no accidental thing, Dave Chappelle. He's going for cancel culture. I think that's really what he's going at.
Because what we're seeing now, DeShandre, we're seing comedians saying, they're refusing to play on college campuses.
Right.
Because college students are like, oh my God, you joked about that. I just think, to me, what makes comedy so different is I can escape all this other bullshit, okay, and go to a show and just laugh. And they will rip on, to me, they will rip on people you like and people you don't like. They will rip on, if you saw the late Patrice O'Neal, I mean, eviscerate, I mean, all kinds of stuff. I just think that when we start treating comedians as if they are lecturers and politicians, we lose.
It really, no, I would say social commentary is hard for people to listen because they're not just being funny, they're giving you social commentary.
That's true.
And a lot of people ain't ready and they ain't receptive to hear it. Point blank.
But see, I'm not gonna call it social commentary. Because I think that's the problem. I think what has happened is, and this is, now the reason why I think Bill Maher's different. Because see, Bill Maher wants to play both sides from the middle.
Yeah, he does.
Bill Maher wants to be taken seriously as a show host. Yes. Then go, nope, I'm a comedian. No, Bill, you gotta pick. You gotta pick. Because if you're the show host, rules are different. If you're the comedian, rules are different. And that's the piece. Rules are different based on where you are. People say, well, Roland, how can you criticize that when Michael Richard, when he went up? I said, no, here was a difference. Michael Richard left the stage. Michael Richard attacked a person who was there directly. Michael Richard was not operating within the confines of his talent. I've seen comedians within the confines of their talent eviscerate a heckler.
That's true.
That's different. Richard, with a whole,
he used a blunt instrument, basically. He used a shotgun. And
he called
somebody upside
He called you an N-word. He attacked that guy and went off on him. Right.
Versus, it was anger. I mean, he was angry. He was looking to hurt that dude.
There you go.
And he was looking to make a point. But the one thing, and I'll say really quickly, and then I'll shut up, is that a couple days ago on YouTube, a friend of mine sent me a Dave Chappelle routine, and it was so funny. It speaks to this point because he said he was at home, 9/11 happened, and then CNN cut to Ja Rule, right? And Chappelle says, wait, what? And so he went on this whole riff. It's like, okay, something important happened. Let me call Ja Rule and see what he thinks. It's like, why are we even listening to this dude about anything? He's a comedian. I mean, even Chappelle, to a degree, you can say he's a comic. You know, whatever he says, why are you taking it seriously? Because this is what
I don't know.
he tells
I'm like Deshaun. This guy, his social commentary. You
can choose to take it that way.
But I don't know how he seems like he's feeling out this territory.
Oh, I know what he's doing.
In Bill Maher's case, Bill Maher is not funny. He ain't no good host, quite frankly. Yeah. But in Chappelle's case, yeah, I'm a comedian. Dude, you more than a comedian, to your point. And I think you're aware of that.
But he is. But here's what I think, to Joseph's point, what he's saying. What he's saying is, I'm going to comment on these things through comedy from the stage. Mm-hmm. Dave is not consistently talking about Trump, the Democratic candidate.
No, that's true. He didn't even mention Trump one time.
He's not.
Good point.
So the difference is when you're a comedian and you step outside of your job as a comedian, and now all of a sudden you want to become a political commentator.
That's a good point.
And now you want to become
and take it seriously.
A go-to. Right. So, for instance, D.L. Hughley is in a different space. Because the reality is, even though D.L. Hughley is a comedian, even though he is host of his own radio show, because D.L. does these shows and is talking about social issues, commentary, he's now in a different space. So when D.L. says something, even as a comedian, bruh, you can't do this.
Interesting.
See, you can't. See, the hop and the back and forth is the problem. Dave is saying, I'm a comedian. I'm going to use the stage and the mic to speak to these issues through a comedic prism. To me, the rules are different.
What would you do with our dear elder, now ancestor, Dick Gregory?
Oh, I think different. Because, see, Dick made the conscious decision. Dick was a comedian.
Straight comedian.
Then Dick made the conscious decision to become an activist. The moment Dick became an activist, it changed the equation because he was so even though Dick still did comedy,
but it was also informed. That's the difference. It was informed.
No, I get informed. What I'm saying is, it's rules. It's rules. Yeah. How do I perceive you? I perceive Dave Chappelle differently than I do DL.
Oh, no question.
Differently than Bill Maher. Yep. Because I think when you walk into this space, it's no different than when. Why has the black pulpit been what it is, so powerful? Because when you're speaking within the confines of the pulpit, the problem is when you try to become a politician and a preacher. See, now
you're operating in two different contexts.
And now I'm receiving you in a different way.
Who was that? Bill Gray, Adam Clayton Powell. I'm trying to think of people who Calvin Butts never made the complete commitment to politics.
Right. So the point is, when you step outside of your lane, the rules are now different. Because, see, now, how am I receiving you? Are you talk? So, for instance, Reverend Barbara can speak to me through a preacher prism.
Sure.
Once you choose to become a politician, now, okay, how you talking to me? Are you preacher or are you politician?
But going back to
lanes.
But going back to the college students, you know, some comedians don't want it. College students don't see those two sets of rules. They don't see the different. It's all one thing to them.
And that's the problem. Yeah. And the problem is they are going to comedy shows, treating them as if they're going to lectures. And they're comedy shows. And that's why I'm with the comedians who said, don't book me for no doggone college campuses, because I want to be able to do my craft. And when Chris Rock talks about how you work through a joke, that's the other thing, which is why they hate being videotaped. Because a dude who's trying to work through a joke, they trying to refine it.
Oh, no question.
Or a woman trying to refine it. They may hit 12, 15 shows before that joke is just right. Now we're determining the value of your joke based upon that one time. And so that's why a lot of comedians right now are frustrated. So really what I think Dave is doing with this, Dave is saying, you know what, I've watched all this sort of crap. Y'all come on.
Yeah, that's clear.
What Dave is saying,
That's true.
Y'all come on. First of all, Netflix done paid him damn near $100 million.
Yeah, he good.
So he good.
He good.
But what he's saying is, Dave is saying, y'all come on. Come hit me with all of this. It ain't no shock. It drops in August. He gets the Mark Twain Prize at the Kennedy Center in October, the highest award for comedy.
That's right.
It ain't no surprise. And I think what he's now saying is, come at me. Let me see how y'all come at me. So for the rest of y'all who behind me, now y'all can just do y'all thing. Because guess what?
I
took all the arrows.
Very interesting.
That's what I think he's doing. That's what I think he's doing, because you're right. Y'all gotta watch it.
Yeah, you do.
Y'all gotta watch. Don't watch it from judgment.
That's right.
Watch it. You can judge it if you want to, but I want you to watch it as a tactician.
Yeah.
How he opens up with the Prince lyric, and then he has that line, Judgment Day line.
Yes.
Opens up talking about a suicide.
Yes.
And it goes from there. How he I'm telling you, this was done on purpose, and I think he's speaking to this whole point of how we have taken the comedic stage and we have neutered it and said, no, you can't criticize anybody because everything is too sacred. And he's saying nothing is sacred.
Oh, and beyond that, celebrity. Everybody.
All of it.
Everybody. You be canceled. I be canceled. Any of us.
There you go, all of it.
That's right.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. November 7th through 11th, I want y'all to roll with me to Cabo, folks. We're going to have a great time. Life Luxe Jazz experience. Top-notch music, unbelievable food, libations. Y'all know I don't drink, but y'all can go ahead and drink. And, of course, golf, spa, wellness, all that good stuff at Omnia Day Club Los Cabos, nestled on the Sea of Cortez in the celebrity playground of Los Cabos, Mexico. We're going to have a great time. I'm one of their ambassadors, of course. It's going to be an amazing. All these jazz artists are going to be performing, folks, over the 4 days, which is crazy. Mark Curry, he's going to be actually the host of all of this thing. Then, of course, you have my frat Gerald Albright, Alex Bouillon, Raul Madon, Incognito, Kirk Whalum, Average White Band, Donna McClurkin, Shalea, Roy Ayers, Tom Brown, Funkin' for Jamaica, Ronnie Laws, and Ernest Quarles. It is an unbelievable schedule, folks, of concerts every single night. You don't want to miss this. Package is starting at $1,300 and going all the way up to more than $2,000, depending upon, of course, the hotel you're staying at. And so we're going to be broadcasting Roland Martin Unfiltered that Thursday and Friday from the location there. And so I want you to come hang out with us. And also, my birthday is like a few days later, so we can actually make it a birthday party and a jazz experience. So for more details, go to lifeluxejazz.com, LIFELUXE jazz.com. It's going to be a great time had by all. Trust me, packages are running out. We want you to get there. And so we're going to have a fabulous, fabulous time. And you know what? I might crack out me a Kente linen short set. I'm just saying.
Oh, short set.
I might crack out the Kente linen short set. We'll see. We'll see what we do. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.